Thanks for clicking on that link and checking out this video. Today we're going to talk about the difference between the Crystal Tones Frosted Bowls and the Crystal Tones Alchemy Bowls. I see this question a lot. A lot of people want to know what's the best bowl, and then they're looking at different versions of the Frosted Bowl. Some of them have pretty colors and rainbow paint and all that stuff on there. Essentially, they're all about the same. Some of the quality is better than others, but the range between good and bad on a frosted bowl like this is really, really small. The difference might be in the price, the shipping availability, or whatever it is. So I'll start with the classic frosted bowl. This is a 10-inch G, and I got a couple that are close in sound, pitch, and in size. So when these first came out, we had these suede mallets. And the first thing you notice is that awful grating sound. And for the most part, they sing fairly easily. And if you don't know any better, you might think that sounds really nice. It doesn't. The next upgrade was the silicone mallets. And you notice you still have that grinding sound. It's minimal, but it's still there. And if you're paying attention, you notice your head is probably starting to hurt, because something like this that's played that loud is going to be an assault on your nervous system. A chime can be nicer, and generally the sustain on the frosted bowls isn't awesome, but there's no decay to it. It's one sound and it goes straight. Sometimes it goes straight to your bones and you feel it, and it's obnoxious. So I'm not a fan of these. Even when you upgraded to some of the prototype mallets like this, you can eliminate some of the attack sound, but it very quickly starts to make your teeth chatter. Now we'll compare that with a 10-inch G Alchemy bowl. It's night and day. It's a whole different world. Obviously, it's significantly more money. The only difference is if you decide you don't want this anymore and you go to sell it, you're going to get most of your money back. If you try to sell this, you're not going to get anything, and it's completely unaffordable to ship. So they're generally thinner, and for the most part, they're smooth on the rim, so you don't hear that grinding sound. And it's a little bit harder to get to that point where you feel assaulted. Now with these, what I like about them is the decay. And by the decay, I mean that right now that's happening, that wavering of sound that comes in and out and in and out, and it changes, and sometimes you feel it go through the room. It's going to be most prevalent when you chime the bowl. That's where you hear the ringing and the overtones. If you go to the silicone mallet, I don't recommend tapping with these because it's not as pleasant. You can still get some of that decay, but it's not the same as if you were chiming it. Now compare that with this. It's so different, it's not even in the same comparison. Buying one of these gets you a singing bowl, but ultimately it's not what you want. And we'll compare that with a frosted bowl. So the texture is somewhat the same. The note's going to be a little different on this. The frosting is a little bit lighter, so you can still get a little bit of that. But the chime and the overtone are still light years ahead of where the frosted bowl is. This is another one. This one's a G sharp. But size-wise, it's very similar. Thickness-wise, it's very similar. And the sustain is just so much And I'm sharing this out of experience. I've been dealing with Crystal Tones bowls since around 2010, 2011. And I see the same thing over and over again when people come in. I used to carry these, but what happens is once someone plays that and then goes to an alchemy bowl, they can't go back ever. There's just no way to go from the purity of this sound and the sound character, which to me is really important in a singing bowl, to this. They're like one tone, and they go straight for your nervous system, and it's not a pleasant experience to listen to them. Again, if you don't know any better, you think it's great, but then when you play them side by side, or you come here into shopping and I put them next to you and in front of you, the difference is stark. And I understand they're cost prohibitive for many people. Like, that's just magic. You're not going to get that out of a frosted bowl. If you have any questions, any comments, just send me a message or let me know. Thanks for checking it out.